using machine learning to detect the vehicle damage and estimate the cost of the repair. I have a car. I love my car, but accidents do happen. And when they do, you don't want to be frustrated by endless processes where you have to complete a 100-page document to get the costing of the repair. Imagine if this process could be simplified. With machine learning, this is possible. I'm going to show you a practical example of how we could incorporate a vision algorithm to make your life simpler and ease your frustration. So you could have your car repaired in a short space of time and be driving away on your next destination. Okay, following on from my previous video where I used the Pillow library to detect the differences between two trees, I'm going to be using the library once again, where our use case will be to identify changes to the body of a vehicle. This will be performed by detecting differences between the three different images which I'm going to use for this demonstration. So, the original image without any damage, and this will serve as the base image where the damaged image of the bumper and the bonnet of the vehicle will be compared against the original, which does not have any damages. These damages will then be highlighted. So please be aware that there is no actual damage to the vehicle. I've just placed objects around the panels, and these will serve as simulated damage as per my training of my model. The obvious reasons for the simulated damage are because this video unfortunately doesn't have the budget to break and then fix this vehicle. So let's get started. For this tutorial, we will be using Jupyter Notebooks, but you can use Google Colab, Atom, PyCharm, or any other Python editing tool. I've already created a folder on my desktop and imported my three images, and the next step will be to create a Python notebook. I will rename this notebook to Car Damage, but you're welcome to change the name as you see fit. Now comes the fun part of writing the 6 lines of magic code. The first part that we're going to need to do is to import the Pillow library into our Jupyter notebook. So, firstly image, and then image chops. So once those two are imported, we will then move on to creating our variables. So the first variable that we're going to be creating is image1, and in image1 we're going to have our original image. So all our damaged images will be compared against this original to give us an output. So the first step is to create the original, and it's just one line of code, so that's that. Okay. Moving on from there, we're just going to copy and paste this code, and we're just going to change it to image 2, and we will then change it to bonnet. So that's what we're just going to change that there, because that is the image that we're going to compare to against the original. The next step is to highlight the differences. So we will then use the function from the import of the Pillow library called image chops. And we will then want to see what is the differences between the two image variables. So as you can see at the top in line 2 and 3, we have image 1 and image 2 as variables. So we want to see what the difference is. Once that line of code is defined, we want to get an output, and the output will be the very last line to say, show me where the differences lie. So well done if you got to this part. This is our 6 lines of code that's written and complete. All you got to do is save. So you're going to save your Python notebook. Just maybe skim through your code just to make sure that you have not made any mistakes. And once you are satisfied, click on run. The program will take a second or two to run, and now you can see the output. Okay, fantastic. So in this image, you can see a little white object. This object is where the damage lies. So what it did was it took your original image. So I'm just opening the original image. This is the original image without any damage. And then what it does is it compares it to the image with the bonnet. And as you can see, that is where the damage has been highlighted using machine learning and using the library of Pillow. Okay, I'm now going to move on to the bumper image. So just change the code to say bumper, save the notebook, and then run the program. So now I can see that that little anomaly is around the bumper region of the vehicle. Now what it does, once again, it takes the image of the bumper, it compares it to the original image, and then this is the output. So now we're going to move on to say, okay, we've received our output. How can we use machine learning? How can we take it one step further and get some actual results from this? Now that we have our Pillow machine learning model built, I'm going to show you an example of a use case where this could work. I've developed a simple web application, but this could easily be deployed across multiple platforms, which includes mobile. I've done some further machine learning training to classify the object damage and work out the costing, and you could also do the same by using one of the following providers: Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, IBM, or TensorFlow, just to name a few. How you would train the model is upload many images as possible from different angles where the vehicle does not have damage. You will then take images of a bumper or a bonnet and upload them, where you would train the model to identify the damage area and add some data like the vehicle part to repair it and the approximate costing of the vehicle damage. Remember, the more images that you add, the more accurate your machine learning model will be. Please also note that these images should be classified. Example, front bumper scratch or front bumper dent. Let's now put our machine learning model to the test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a file. And the first file that I'm going to choose is the bonnet. Okay. The image with the bonnet damage gets processed, and here we can see the comments. So it says the area around the bonnet of the vehicle looks abnormal, and the part requiring replacing is the bonnet. It also gives you a cost of a repair and the estimate repair time. Now this was possible because of the way we trained the machine learning model. So we obviously did a dummy estimate. So these are by no means accurate. This is just for learning purposes. So we did a dummy costing and a dummy repair time. So we just said 10 days. Now let's have a look at it if we go and upload another image, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go and choose a second image, which is the bumper. All right. So now it's going to be running the machine learning analysis once again. So it's running in the background once we uploaded our bumper image. Okay. So once again, it spots that the area of the vehicle that needs repairing is the bumper. It does a bit of a costing of 17,000 Rand, and then it does an estimate repair time of 13 days. Now, obviously, if you have the actual data, you'll be able to train it better. I'm just doing this for training purposes. I'm showing you an example of how this actually could work. But there are many use cases, and this is really cool because you can do it on multiple different disciplines. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Cheers. Bye-bye.